Welcome back to the deep dive. Usually when we crack open a new topic, we start with a broad overview, the history, the context, all the sweeping narratives.
Mhm.
But today is different. Today we are looking at something that is arguably the most fundamental, primal building block of human communication. We usually think of language as this flowing river of conversation, right?
Yes, with the subjects and the verbs and all the lovely adjectives.
Exactly. Adjectives, feelings, metaphors. But today, we are stripping all of that away. We are looking at a set of source materials that focus entirely on the imperative. And to do that, we have to get a little intense.
Start down.
Whoa. Okay, I am sitting. Good
Let's
grief.
listen to me.
I'm listening. I'm listening.
You-
You don't have to shout.
Do not speak.
Okay, seriously, are you done? Because that was actually terrifying. You are scary today. My heart is genuinely pounding.
Apologies for that. But I really had to demonstrate the point immediately. That visceral reaction you just had.
Yeah, the spike in adrenaline.
Exactly. The way your body froze and your brain entirely stopped processing polite social cues. That is the true power of the imperative. That was our hook from the source material today. The drill sergeant.
Yeah. Well, it worked. My heart rate is definitely up. I felt like I was back in high school gym class or something. But let's unpack this a bit. Why start a deep dive on grammar, which is usually,
Yeah.
pretty dry stuff with shouting?
Because the imperative is not just a grammar rule, it is quite literally a survival mechanism. It is the shortest, strongest way to speak English. If a bus is about to hit you, I am not going to say, "Excuse me, would you mind terribly stepping onto the pavement?"
Right, you'd be dead by the time you got to terribly. You just yell, move.
Precisely. When there is danger or, and this is the other key context from our notes, when you are the boss, there is simply no time for polite conversation. You need to give an order.
Okay, so the mission of this deep dive is to explore how we construct these orders, the logic behind them, and then crucially how we soften them so we don't, lose all our friends. Because if I kept speaking to you like that, you would just leave. I imagine so, yeah.
I was about 2 seconds away from walking out, honestly. It really triggers a fight or flight response.
Which is exactly what it is designed to do. It bypasses the logical conversational part of the brain and goes straight to the motor cortex. Do this.
Yeah.
Stop that.
Yeah.
It is binary code for humans.
So we have a few interesting sources today that break this down into a sort of lesson plan structure. We have the meat, which is the grammar logic. We have the warmth, which is the social context. And finally, the drill.
Yes.
And I want to be clear to everyone listening right now, this isn't just about learning to give orders. It's about understanding the basic anatomy of the English verb.
We are going to go through these materials systematically because while it seems incredibly simple words like stop, go, eat, the actual mechanics are quite rigid. If you mess up the structure, you don't sound authoritative. You sound broken. You sound somewhat like a caveman or a really confused tourist. So let's look at the meat of the issue. The logic of the command. In our notes, there's this great metaphor used to describe how you turn a normal sentence into a command. It says we have to cut the head off the sentence.
A slightly violent metaphor, perhaps, but extremely accurate. Think about a normal English sentence for a moment. It acts very much like a body.
Okay.
It has a head, which is the subject. That is usually you or he or she. Then it has the body, which is the verb. For example, you open the book, you eat your dinner.
Right. Subject, then verb. You open, that's the standard SVO structure we all learned in school.
To create the imperative, we perform a surgical removal. We completely delete the subject. We delete you.
So you open the book becomes just open the book.
Precisely. You are cutting the head off. The subject is implied. I am looking right at you. I am speaking directly to you, so I don't need to say you.
It's just entirely about efficiency.
Exactly. The imperative is the most efficient form of the language because it removes the actors and focuses entirely on the action itself.
But wait, let me play devil's advocate here for a second. In the source material and just out in real life, I hear people say, you sit down or you listen to me. Isn't that still an imperative?
That is a very astute observation. Yes, you can keep the you, but it changes the flavor entirely.
So.
If I say sit down, it is a neutral, albeit strong command. If I point a finger at you and say you sit down, it becomes accusatory. It becomes quite aggressive.
I see. It makes it personal.
Exactly. By keeping the head on the sentence, you are drawing attention to the person, often to assign blame to them. But the pure imperative, the drill sergeant imperative, removes the person completely. It is just the action. Sit, stand, march.
It's really interesting because when you think about it, that's exactly how we talk to computers now, isn't it? Open file, save image, delete,
That is a brilliant parallel. It is binary. Do this. But there is a trap here, and the source material highlights this explicitly as grammar rule 2. It's about the form of the verb itself.
For the base form.
Correct. The base form. This is where learners, and frankly even native speakers, when they are flustered, can get completely tangled up. The rule is absolute. The verb must be in the base form.
So let's clarify what base form means for everyone listening, because we throw these grammar terms around like infinitive, gerund base, and people's eyes just glaze over.
Fair enough. Think of the verb as a person. The base form is the verb entirely naked.
Okay, vivid image.
It has no clothes on, no accessories whatsoever. It is in its simplest, most raw state.
So that means no to.
Never. So when to is a hat. You would never say to come here as a command. That is an infinitive structure. It's entirely wrong for an order. You simply say come here.
And no ing at the end.
No. The ing suffix is like a pair of running shoes. Coming here is not a command. It's a participle or a gerund. It describes an action that is happening or the idea of an action, but it simply doesn't order it.
Yeah, if I just shout coming here at you, you could just look at me confused, like who was coming here? And what about the classic igius on the end? Like if I'm talking to him or if I'm talking to a whole group of people?
Irrelevant. And this is what makes the imperative so special and quite frankly so rigid. In the imperative, there is no gender, there is no number, and there is no third person. It is entirely direct.
So you never say comes here.
Never. It is always strictly come here, even if I am talking to one single person or a stadium of 1,000 people.
It really is stripped down. It's like minimalist architecture. You just take away everything that isn't load-bearing.
That is a beautiful way to put it. It is linguistic minimalism. You are removing all the decor, no to knowing, no s, no ed, just the pure verb be, go, have.
Be is a tricky one, though, isn't it?
It is arguably the trickiest. Because be is the base form of is, am, and are. Learners often want to say are quiet because they think in their heads you are quiet.
Like, because you are quiet is the normal statement.
Yeah.
So if I cut the head off, I'm just left with are quiet.
But are is not the base form. Are is a conjugation. It has clothes on. The naked verb is be, so the correct command is be quiet.
Be careful.
Be on time.
That is a really crucial distinction for you listening. You have to go all the way back to the source code of the word.
Exactly. But of course, we don't just tell people to do things. Sometimes the most critical commands are actually prohibitions, telling people not to do things.
Right. That brings us to grammar rule 3 from our stack, the negative.
This is absolutely vital for safety. If you see a child reaching for a hot stove, you desperately need the negative imperative. The rule here is simple but completely rigid. You put don't at the very front.
Don't touch that.
Don't be late.
Don't speak.
Exactly. And notice again, the verb after don't is still firmly in that base form. We don't say don't touching. We don't say don't to touch. It is always don't plus the naked base.
What about no? Because I definitely hear people say no touch or no smoking.
No touch is essentially baby talk. It communicates the idea, certainly, but it is grammatically incorrect for an adult to use as a direct command.
And no smoking.
No smoking is a noun phrase. It is a label for a rule. It is a sign you put on a wall, not a direct command spoken to a person. If I am looking you in the eye and ordering you to stop doing something, I absolutely must use the auxiliary verb do not smoke. Or the contraction, don't smoke.
It's super powerful.
Yeah.
Don't. It just stops you right in your tracks. It's a literal wall you put up in front of the action.
And it has to be instant. You cannot hesitate when using it.
But this brings us to the next section of our deep dive, which I think is actually my favorite part. Because if we walked around all day just saying, sit, eat, don't touch, open, be quiet, we would sound like, well, like you did at the beginning of the show.
Like a rather aggressive drill sergeant.
Or a robot. Or, frankly, a massive jerk.
Indeed. And this is where the warmth section of our source material comes into play. It introduces the role of the American guide in the lesson plan, who provides the necessary social context. She actively critiques the strict military style.
Yeah, she actually says in the notes, your commands are perfect for a dog or a soldier. And honestly, when you were yelling at me earlier, I felt like a recruit. I did not feel like your friend.
A very fair assessment. And in a real social dynamic, causing that feeling is dangerous. If you use the naked imperative with your boss or your spouse or even a waiter, you are explicitly signaling, I am above you and you are below me.
Which is a really great way to get your food spit in.
Precisely. So we need a mechanism to soften it. And the sources introduce the magic word.
Please.
It changes absolutely everything, doesn't it? Sit down is a hard order. Please sit down is, well, the text calls it an invitation.
It really signals respect. It acknowledges that the other person has a choice, even if you secretly really want them to do it. Please sit down implies I would like you to sit if you are willing. It greases the gears of social interaction.
It is genuinely amazing how one single word shifts the entire power dynamic. With sit down, the power resides 100% with the speaker. With please sit down, you are sharing that power a little bit.
Is there a difference where we put it, though, like at the front or the back? Please sit down versus sit down, please.
There is a very subtle nuance, yes. Please sit down with the word at the front is generally softer. You are essentially offering the olive branch before issuing the command. You are disarming the person before you hit them with the verb.
Right. It's like, here is a nice word. Now, here's what I want from you.
Whereas sit down, please, with the word at the end can sometimes sound just a bit impatient, like a weary parent talking to a naughty child. Eat your dinner, please. It implies you have already asked them once or you are expecting some resistance.
That's a really good point. The please at the end is almost like a verbal period. It seals the command. But the please at the start opens the door.
You are absolutely right. And there's another incredibly useful way to share power, which the sources call inclusion. This is the let's form.
Oh, I love let's. It's the ultimate team-building word. It's the we word.
It truly is. If I say to you, go to the cinema, I am sending you away. I am the boss, you are the subordinate, I am staying right here, and you are going over there. But if I use the inclusive form...
Let's go to the cinema.
Now, what exactly does that mean?
It means you and I together. It's a suggestion, not a cold order. It means we are partners in this action.
Precisely. Let's-y is actually a contraction of let us. Allow us to go. But in modern practical usage, it functions as the first-person plural imperative. It is quite literally the grammar of leadership versus management. A manager says go. A leader says let's go.
That is a profound distinction.
Yeah.
Go versus let's go. One pushes and the other pulls, one isolates and the other connects.
And in terms of our source material, this effectively completes our basic toolbox. We have the command, which is stop. We have the prohibition, which is don't stop. We have the polite request, which is please stop. And finally, the suggestion, which is let's stop.
It's like a set of golf clubs. You just have to know which club to use for which shot. You don't use the drill sergeant scream when you're on the putting green with your grandma.
And you certainly don't use the putter, the let's form, when a car is about to hit someone on the street.
Okay, so we have the theory down, we have the meat and the warmth. But this deep dive is really about application. The source material has a very specific section here called the drill, and it mentions something called the 3-second rule.
This is absolutely critical for anyone trying to actually use this knowledge in the real world. Passive listening is one thing. You can listen to us talk about grammar all day and nod your head in agreement. But can you produce the language under pressure?
That's the connection, not perfection motto the sources talk about.
Correct. The 3-second rule dictates that when you are given a prompt or a situation, you have exactly 3 seconds to speak the answer before the correct answer is given.
3 seconds is not a long time at all.
It is an eternity if you are fully prepared, and a mere microsecond if you are still translating in your head. The entire goal is to bypass the translation part of your brain, that slow analytical engine, and connect the thought directly to your mouth.
Okay, so are we going to do this? Are we going to put you, the listener, through the drill right now?
I believe we must. We need to honor the drill sergeant persona from our intro, but perhaps blend it with a bit more of the warmth and encouragement. We are going to expand this practice significantly compared to just reading the source notes. We need to help you build that muscle memory.
Okay, I'm ready. I'll be your guide.
Excellent. So here is exactly how this is going to work. We are going to follow the repetition loops. I will give you a prompt, which is just a simple situation. You listening must turn it into a command immediately.
And since we can't pause the audio for you, I'm going to tell you exactly when to speak. You'll have 3 seconds to say the answer out loud before he gives it to you.
You must speak out loud. If you are on the train, whisper it. If you are in the car, shout it. But you absolutely must produce the physical sound.
All right, let's start with the very first loop. This is the stop command. Pure basics.
Focus now. The situation is simple. Someone stop.
Did you get it? Just one word, stop. Let's try to really feel that urgency. Don't think about subjects or verbs. Just think action.
It has to be sharp, like a slap on the table. Let's do it again. Tell him to stop.
3 seconds. Go.
Say it.
Nice. Now let's swap the verb out. New situation. You are guarding a door. Someone is trying to enter.
Tell him to wait.
Out loud right now. Tell him.
Wait.
Wait. Simple and naked?
Let us try another one. Someone is holding a very heavy box, and it looks like they are about to drop it on their foot. Tell him to drop it.
You have 3 seconds. Command him.
Drop it.
Okay, drop it. That's 2 words there. Verb and object.
Notice how the object, it attaches directly to the verb, drop it. It almost sounds like one single word when spoken naturally.
Let's try a really common one for dog owners or parents of toddlers.
Tell him to sit.
Say it now. Be firm.
Sit.
Or you can say sit down.
Sit down adds a helpful direction, which is good. But sit is the absolute core. Now let's increase the difficulty slightly. We are moving to repetition loop 2, the negative command. This is prohibition.
So remember the rule, everyone.
Yeah.
Don't is at the front. Then the base form of the verb. This is where your brain is naturally going to want to say no stop or not stop. You have to fight that instinct.
The situation is this. Someone is about to light a cigarette in a designated non-smoking area. You need to strictly forbid this action.
Okay, get ready. Block the action right now.
Tell them not to smoke.
3 seconds. Tell them out loud.
Don't smoke.
Don't smoke. 2 words. Did you remember the don't?
And crucially, did you keep smoke in the naked base form? Not don't smoking, not no smoke.
Don't smoke. It's very direct.
Let's try another variation of the negative. Tell him not to move.
Okay, right now, freeze him.
Don't move.
Perfect. It's that rhythm. Don't verb. It's a heartbeat. Bad dumb. Don't move.
Let's try a harder one. One where the verb changes form a lot in other tenses. Tell him not to go.
Out loud. 3 seconds.
Don't go.
Not don't goes. Not don't going. Just don't go.
Now here's a very tricky one. The be verb. Remember our discussion earlier? Naked verb only.
Oh boy.
This is the big trap.
The situation. Someone is being incredibly loud in a public library. You want them to not be loud. Tell them not to be loud.
Think about the base form. Say it now.
Don't be loud.
Did you say don't or loud? Or maybe no loud?
The only correct form is don't be loud. You absolutely need the auxiliary don't and the base be.
That's a bit of a tongue twister for some people, don't be.
It is an essential pattern, though. Don't be late. Don't be silly. Don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid. That's a really good one. It's almost comforting, even though it's an imperative.
Now we shift gears entirely. We move from the drill sergeant to the friend. Repetition loop 3. This is the suggestion.
So this is my section. We are using let's. We want to include ourselves in the action. We are shifting from you to us.
The prompt is entirely softer here. We are not ordering, we are merely suggesting.
The situation is that it's a beautiful day outside. You want to go to the park with your friend. Suggest going to the park.
Use the inclusive word. Say it out loud.
Let's go to the park.
Let's go to the park. Did you feel the difference in your chest there? It wasn't go to the park. It was warm and inclusive.
Let's try one more with this exact structure. Suggest eating pizza.
3 seconds. Make the suggestion.
Let's eat pizza.
Honestly, who could say no to that command?
Exactly. It works effectively because it offers a mutual benefit to both the speaker and the listener.
Let's try it. With a negative. Can we do that? Can we suggest not doing something?
Absolutely, we can. The structure is quite simply let's not.
Oh, that's fancy. Let's not.
Situation. It is raining heavily. You really don't want to go out. Suggest not going out.
Out loud right now. Tell your friend.
Let's not go out.
Let's not go out. That sounds very polite. Very British, actually.
It is the gentleman's refusal. Instead of bluntly saying, I won't go, you softly say, let's not go. You share the refusal together.
Okay, so we've done the 3 types. Direct, negative, and inclusive. Now I think we need to really mix them up.
Ah, the rapid fire round.
Exactly. Because in real life, you don't get them nicely sorted in neat categories. You get total chaos.
I agree completely. I will give you a mix of various prompts. You listening must identify the correct tool, command, prohibition, or suggestion and use it immediately.
3 seconds. No mercy. Get ready.
Situation. Your dog is running away from you.
You say it. Stop. Or here.
Direct command. It's an emergency.
Next situation. You see a movie poster. You want to see it with your friend.
3 seconds. Suggest it.
Let's watch it. Or let's see it.
Suggestion. Highly inclusive.
Situation. A child is reaching to touch a sharp knife.
Say it now. Stop the action.
Don't touch it.
Negative command. Absolute safety.
Situation. You are at a lovely dinner party. You want your guests to start eating. Be polite.
3 seconds. Soften it.
Please eat. Or eat, please.
Soften command. A nice invitation.
Final situation. You are very tired of walking. Suggest taking a taxi.
Say it to your friend now.
Let's take a taxi. Wow. You know, going through these drills, even just doing these few loops, you realize just how much mental energy it takes to switch modes. To go rapidly from stop to don't smoke to let's go.
That is precisely the cognitive load of language learning. You are constantly switching gears in your brain. You are moving frantically from the danger circuit to the social circuit and back again.
And that brings us perfectly to the outro concepts from our source material today. There is a very specific metaphor used in the notes to describe the current state of a learner's ability at this exact stage.
Yes.
The island metaphor.
Break that down for me. Explain the island.
The source states right now your sentences are islands. They do not touch each other.
That's such a vivid visual image. You have stop over here sitting on one little island. You have let's go way over on another island. But they are completely isolated. They're just floating out there in the sea of silence.
Exactly. A beginner speaks entirely in islands. Sit, eat, go. Good. They're merely disconnected dot points.
And what's the ultimate goal? The true goal of deep learning and of all this practice is to build bridges, to connect these isolated commands into a smooth, flowing narrative. But, and this is the absolutely vital key takeaway, you simply cannot build a bridge if you don't have the islands established first.
Right. You need that solid foundation. You need the anchor points before you can build anything else.
Precisely. If you attempt to build a heavy bridge on water, it sinks immediately. You need the solid, unwavering rock of stop and go. The pure imperative is the bedrock of the language. It is the solid ground. Once you truly master the command, you can start adding all the fancy linguistic architecture on top. You can start saying things like, I was wondering if you could possibly stop, but first you absolutely must own stop.
Owning the word. That's exactly what it feels like. When I just shout stop, I completely own that space.
And the source material actually teases the very next step in the journey. It says episode 38 is the link.
Which clearly implies that once we have these strong islands of commands, the next step is connecting them together, like stop and listen, go and get it.
Connecting the islands, yes. But for today, for this specific deep dive, the primary focus is purely on ownership of the single direct action.
You are in control now. That's exactly what the final notes say. You can lead the group.
And that is the profound psychological takeaway of the imperative. It is fundamentally the language of agency. When you use the imperative, you are not merely describing the world. You are actively changing it.
That's really deep. I mean, most language just describes things right. The sky is blue, he is tall. That's just us reporting the news.
Correct. But if you say, paint the sky, or stand tall, that is an act of creation. You are firmly imposing your will on reality. You are directly telling the world what it ought to do.
That's incredibly empowering. Whether it's telling a dog to sit, or telling a child not to touch the fire, or just telling a friend, hey, let's go on an adventure, you are the one driving the action. You are the main character, the protagonist.
But you must remember the stark warning from the beginning of our deep dive.
You mean the drill sergeant?
Yes. Use your newfound power wisely. Do not go around shouting, sit down at your boss. Do not use the headless sentence when you actually need someone to do you a favor.
Well, unless you add please.
Even then, I would advise you to proceed with extreme caution. Context is king. The imperative is a very sharp knife. It cuts cleanly through the noise, but it can also severely cut your own fingers if you aren't careful.
Fair point. I'll definitely keep the safety on.
So let's briefly recap what we have successfully extracted from this stack of sources today. We've covered quite a lot of ground in a very short time.
Okay, let's list them out for everyone listening. 1. The imperative is the headless sentence. There is no subject. There is no you.
2, always use the base form, the totally naked verb. Absolutely no to no ing and no s.
3, use don't for prohibition, and keep the verb totally naked right after it.
4, use please to softly turn an order into an invitation. Put it at the front for maximum softness and at the back for slightly more firmness.
And 5, use, let's turn it into a friendly suggestion, the real leadership move.
And finally, 6, practice diligently with the 3-second rule. If you cannot say the command out loud in 3 seconds, you simply do not own it yet. You are still mentally translating.
Connection, not perfection. But speed really does matter in a real emergency.
Indeed it does.
This has been a really fascinating look at the basic nuts and bolts of how we give orders. It's incredibly simple on the surface, but it's remarkably deep. It's about survival and authority and social grace, all just wrapped up in one little tiny verb form.
As is often the case, the simplest things usually are the most beautifully complex when you finally look under the hood.
Now, before we officially wrap up this deep dive, I want to throw out a final provocative thought for everyone listening to really mull over. We talked about how it creates a real sense of us in a world that is just increasingly digital and, frankly, disconnected, where we spend so much of our time alone on our glowing screens. How much more powerful could our daily communication be if we consciously shifted more of our commands into suggestions? Instead of just bossing people around online, posting comments like watch this or read this, what if we instead focused on warmly inviting them to do it with us?
Do this versus let's do this. It is a very small grammar change, but it represents perhaps a massive cultural shift. It instantly turns a solitary lecture into a shared conversation.
Something to really think about. In fact, maybe try using let's 3 different times today and just see what happens to the people around you.
That is a clear, non-negotiable speaking task. An
Yeah.
excellent homework assignment. I fully approve.
Awesome. Thanks for diving in with us today. Keep practicing those base forms, and we'll definitely see you on the next one.
Keep building those bridges.
And
Wait, was that an imperative just now?
maybe. Bye, everyone.